Yeah, they're probably going to go for 2, by the way. You got to play the 27-point game. You're not going to have that many possessions here. Good job by Crompton fighting in because initial surge did not put him in there.
So Philip Fulmer says try for 2.
Yeah, see, 8 times 3 is 24, and a field goal puts you to tie game. I mean, you got to play the numbers. Now, if you don't make it, I can make an argument the other way, obviously.
That's why you're paid so high.
Well,
(27-6). Crompton, the quarterback. Gerald Jones is wide to the right. Taylor wide left. And Crompton is under center. Now Taylor up on the line. Across the middle, tipped and incomplete.
Tight end was wide open. He was in the middle of 14 checkers back there, blocks. You can't get a guy more open than that. Big Dunlap, I think, number 8. Here's the tight end. Watch him slip out to the middle. Look at this. No one covers him. And it's blocked in the middle.
Justin Tratto or Carlos Dunlap.
Yep.
Crompton did get the 6. So we go to commercial with the score 27-6.
And now it's time for our Geico scoring recap.
Jump pass to Aaron Hernandez from Tim Tebow. One of 2 touchdowns. That made it 7-0. And then Phillips a 39-yard field goal to up the score to 10-zip. Brandon James a 78-yard punt return. His second punt return for a touchdown this year. 4th of his career. And that gave us a 17-0 score. Then Phillips with his second field goal from 40 yards out, 20-0. And Tebow with his second touchdown pass of the day. It went left. It was caught by Percy Harvin, 27-0. And just moments ago, the quarterback sneak from Jonathan Crompton to try for 2, no good. And so that brings us to our score of 27-6. Florida leading by 21 points. Brandon James is back to return the kick now. And Chad Cunningham will kick off for the Volunteers. Here's Cunningham. Brandon James at the 5-yard line. Very short. Pops it up. Squib kick is taken. And they come to the right. And so Florida gets it back. They don't have much offense in this game so far. Gary, 156 yards that they're up 27-6.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did it a lot of different ways, but they have enough offense. They believe, you know, it's one of those games as a play caller, you think you got enough, you want to avoid a turnover. You don't want to help the other team. Let's make some first downs. Let's play the clock. I think that's what Florida's thinking right now.
Well, they're up 27-6 with good field position as they open another drive. And Tebow again with modest numbers, but he pulls it out of the hat with the jump pass and the fine pass.
Yeah, and Moody's established himself a little bit too, don't you think?
Yes, and here he goes again. Urban Meyer telling us earlier this week that they had a great session with the running backs and the offensive line on Tuesday. He said one of the things he'd noticed about Moody is he got a little lackadaisical in his study when he had to answer only to the offensive the other running backs. But when he got the peer pressure from having the line in there, it became a little bit of a different story. Now he limps off. Second down. Harvin is on the field. Hernandez sets up to the left side. Harvin across the 50 to the 49-yard line. And we'll go back and spend another moment with Tim Brando in New York.
Vern, another couple of undefeateds out of the Mountain West. The Fighting Falcons of Air Force against Utah. Darrell Mack is going to take it in from 8 yards out. 3 minutes left in the third. It's now 16-all. And remember, Utah will have a shot at BYU at season's end and what could be a flying ointment championship game. Vern.
Yes, indeed, Tim. First down and 10 here at the 49. And Moody back on the field. Nice run, cuts to his right, and fights for an additional yard. Well, the Florida Gators top 10 team. 5 teams ranked in the AP top 10 for the first time in conference history. And here's the list. Southern California on top, followed by Oklahoma. Both have off weeks. Georgia out west tonight at Arizona State, then Florida convincing so far. Missouri won today, LSU at Auburn tonight, and then down Alabama defeated Arkansas 49-14.
Remember when we were doing that 6 number? You know,
yeah.
How about Tennessee being the 6th ranked team maybe in the conference? That doesn't go over very well either.
No. This is Chris Rainey, number 3, his first carry of the ball game. Rico McCoy. Now here goes back to 6.
Yeah.
The 6 guys who run.
He's one of them.
4.4 or less.
Rainey's explosive. We haven't even seen what he can do out of Lakeland High School in Florida. He's a blur. You know, Jeff Demps, their true freshman, you know, high school sprinter, actually a track champion, is a blur. And Rainey says, I can run with him.
One of Urban Meyer's stated goals is to become the fastest team in Division I, and they're close.
Put your camera on 15 here, isn't it?
I would think so. 3rd and 1. There's 15, and that's another first down. The Meyer mantra. Take back the swamp. Well, they're now 21-1 in Gainesville. Dominate the big 3. They've got a combined 8-1 record against Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida State, and them. Fast.
Yeah. And, you know, he comes from, you know, that tree, the Lou Holtz tree. And you know, you can't argue with it. That kicking game is so important, and play your best players on the punt team. It's a huge play. It's a 40-yard play. Every time there's punt, there's a 40-yard play one way. So if you put your best players out there, you can steal yardage.
Here's the first thing that's gone wrong today, and Tebow, ever present.
Yeah. He's talking to Dan Mullen, who's upstairs, the offensive coordinator, calls the plays for Urban.
Matt Moody is still on the field. And it's first down and 10 with 11:07 to go. Tebow pulls it back. Goes deep in the end zone. There's a bump and a flag. That's pretty easy to tell.
And for Riley Cooper, the touchdown maker down there.
D'Angelo Willingham was halfway up his back.
Stepped all over his feet, crawled up his back, and you can't really blame him. Would have been a touchdown if he didn't. That's what happens when you run the ball inside. All of a sudden, turn one of those fast guys
Pass
loose.
interference, number 24. Defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Right side, right in the middle of the screen right there. They got to bump each other 3 or 4 times. End of the play, he knocks it down, but he had his hands all over him.
And so first down at the 24-yard line.
And Florida eats clock.
Tebow. Moody.
You just can't have better news than Moody emerging for Florida.
Now let's go back to the studio for this Liberty Mutual update. Once again, here's Tim.
All right, Vern, Hokie High. The boys from VPI have scored a couple of quick touchdowns. This time it's Kenny Lewis scoring from 11 yards out. The game is tied at 17. North Carolina has Mike Paulus, brother of Greg, in at quarterback for the injured TJ Yates. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tim.
You know, we talked about Tennessee's offensive line having experience. All 5 starters return for Florida, including Troutwine, who did not start last year, but he was a starter in 06.
Troutwine missed last year with an injury. Here's the pass.
Unnecessary.
Incomplete. Yeah. And a little jawing going on here at the 17-yard line. That's one of the Pouncey twins, Mike Pouncey, number 55.
I think that DeMonte Bolden was blocked by 2 players to the outside, and they went through the whistle, and Bolden was a little upset. I think that's a pretty good play by Robert Ayers on Tebow, but I just don't know why. No need to force that ball. Florida has not turned over the ball this season. Right now, field goal is huge. Time off the clock is huge. They don't need to stick it in.
And official on the near side stops the clock.
Yeah, the timeout by Florida.
Yep. 10:18 remaining. Well, it's not a perfect afternoon. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot, Liberty Mutual, Budweiser American Ale, and by Chick-fil-A. Volunteer Navy on the Tennessee River. Don't forget, later in the game today, the five-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. Tennessee, one of only 2 stadiums in the country where fans arrive by boat. The other?
Washington.
Husky Stadium. Yep. In Seattle. Here's Rainey. Bounces. Tries to get to the outside. Chris Rainey with the tackle. Dennis Rogan, number 41.
Shout out to my daughter living out in Everett, Washington.
My old hometown.
I know that.
I'm not quite Jim Nance. I don't have that many hometowns, but I got a couple.
Don't get to see her as often as I like, but she's out there. She's not doing that.
I think they may be among those who are heading out of here, going home. 3rd and 5. Harvin was the intended receiver, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and I expect we'll see Phillips. Rico McCoy was defending. Now Jonathan Phillips, who's already graduated, he had applied for law school, been on scholarship and hadn't kicked, and he volunteered to leave the team and give up his scholarship. And in a meeting with Urban Meyer, Meyer challenged him and said, why don't you come back and try and accomplish something as an athlete? And so he did.
Instead of becoming a lawyer?
Yeah, well, exactly. I think the point is the world is full of lawyers, but we don't have enough field goal kickers.
Oh, man.
27 yards.
That's Vern at whatever.com. Send that note.
Oh, man. Tim Tebow might have completed his work for the day. He's had a pretty effective afternoon.
Yeah, he's not. It's not the spectacular, but I think it's very. If you're a Gator fan, it's very good news because you've got other people emerging. You've got an offensive line that's blocking now in the run game. Tebow's going to make his plays when he has to, but now you've got a run game. Now you got a better defense. It looks like to me, and Moody, the running back. Boy, that's good news if you're a Gator fan.
Now he's listed as the 4th string running back. Here's the kickoff, and it is taken by Rogan inside the 10. He's out near the 25-yard line, and the tackle is made by Jock Rickerson. Well, the Bengals are off to a bad start. How did it happen, and how do they fix it? Boomer gets the lowdown from Carson Palmer, plus all the latest news and information right at 12 noon tomorrow on the NFL Today.
Yeah, Florida player was knocked down and is still down.
It's John Jones, number 30, the injured man.
Well, I can tell you if I think, I mean, I don't know what the inside of a program as a commentator like being in it, but if I was Urban Meyer, I would want my backup quarterbacks to get some work. What if I'm in a big game, Tebow gets a stinger, and I got to go with my 2 guys? I would want my 2 backup quarterbacks to have some experience in the games.
John Jones, the injured man. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen.
Right over here, I guess, huh?
Yeah. There he is at the 30.
Looks innocent, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
He goes back and grabs his leg, though, right as he does it.
Ground level view of the of the injury. This is John Jones, number 30. So we'll step aside. John Jones apparently is going to be just fine. .923 to go in this SEC encounter. Rivalry that has been very intense since the early 90s. But Florida has had its way with Tennessee each of the last 3 years, and they're in command here. Crompton back to throw. Across the middle, it's caught by Brandon Warren, number 1. He's down at the 28-yard line.
You know, we've watched both of these games, right, Vern? Last year 59-20, this year 30-6. And you wonder where the talent difference is. I mean, last year Eric Ainge, you know, kind of close to Tebow. I know Tebow was the Heisman Trophy winner, but I mean, this year it seems like a big difference at quarterback. The other big difference is the wide receiver position. This does not seem to match up as well. Terrell Jones is the one guy that I think can run with the Florida receivers. There he got another one. But, you know, there's just not a lot of them. Beautiful run route, perfect throw. Right now, Florida's sitting in that base defense, and Jonathan Crompton's very comfortable. He's got a big arm, got plenty of talent.
Fires this one right side. Montario Hardesty has it out of bounds. And
yep, bring it back again.
Yes, indeed. Holding.
Boy, this, you know, you can lose. People forgive that kind of stuff. Yeah, there you go. But when you self-destruct in the UCLA game and now this Florida game.
Holding, number 50 offense, 10-yard penalty.